Maybe the sun gave me the power, for I could swim Loch Lomond and be home in half an hour. Maybe the air gave me the drive, for I'm all aglow and alive. What a day this has been, what a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being in love. There's a smile on my face for the whole human race. Why, it's almost like being in love. All the music of life seems to be like a bell that is ringing for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I would swear I was falling. I could swear I was falling. It's almost like being in love. When we walked up the brae,
Not a word did we say. It was almost like being in love. But your arm linked in mine made the world kind of fine.
it was almost like being in love.
All the music of life seems to be
Like a bell that is ringing for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal,
I would swear I was falling.
I could swear I was falling. It's almost like being in love.
Well. Good afternoon. How the devil are you? I'm great. I thought I'd talk about the police. And I'm just look. I'm going to say it a number of times during this video. If you want a genuine opposition, we need fundraising, we need money, we need everything. So we can actually genuinely have a women's political party. Loads of money went to the WEP. Loads of money went to the WEP. I seem to recall you could be a founding member for like $5,000 or something crazy. And we're gonna need loads of money. Excuse my eye. I've got something wrong with eye. We're gonna need loads of money at Party of Women. Like, it's not a joke. You can't run these things on charisma alone. And if I would, I could, and I think I'd be well fueled. But this particular thing is expensive. And I'm just gonna say, look, there's this thing that goes on where people are willing to compromise, and they don't do it because they're bad people. They do it because they've always compromised. They do it because they work in the sort of circles where they have numerous meetings all day, and they go to meetings and everyone comes out feeling great about themselves, achieving fuck all and compromising. I don't come from that. I don't come from a family background or a working environment where compromise is okay. My first jobs, aside from like as a teenager, my first jobs were working in sales. In sales, they either buy or they don't. You either get commission at the end of the week because you sold something, or you don't. There's no halfway. Like, I even in my normal life, just because of the sales that I used to do, I do this thing in sales. It's called pushing for a no, right? You push for a no because you'd rather have a black and white answer than somebody stringing you along with a maybe. I don't work on maybes. I don't work particularly well in grey areas. I'm really quite black and white, which people don't really like it very much. So that's, where I come from. My personality type is suited to definite things. Like a woman is an adult human female. Sometimes, no. Always. Always. Or never. A man can never be a woman. A woman is always an adult human female, and so on. So that's how I work. I think this is very it's easier to communicate a definite idea than a half idea, which is why some of the academics use like 50,000 words to illustrate something that I think can be said in a sentence. So I'm just saying, like, bigging myself up. But if you want that, if you want to see ordinary women have conversations in places where we have been locked out for so long, because look, I don't have rich backers. I don't have massive donors or sponsors. I just don't. I don't know why, because I think I'm pretty much a sure bet, but a certainty. But we don't. I think some potential kind of donors were captured. Even within this movement, they were captured by society before, and then as soon as they come in this movement, they're captured again. And all the tactics used against us women by the left are used by the left in this movement against women. So this is why it's absolutely essential. If you want Party of Women to succeed, and maybe you don't, maybe you're a little bit like, oh, something else will happen. But we don't want legal sex. I don't want to accommodate men. I don't. And I'm going to show you one of those such men this afternoon. And I featured him before. I don't know if you remember. I did a video of him doing a slow motion run. I think this might be a little bit of the video here. But let's let's show you a little bit of him right now. But before we do, special to Casey, Dr. He, Him.
What a day this has been. What a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being
tough. Thanks so much. Thank you very much for coming, all of you. Here we go. So this was posted by Barry Wall this morning. This is really quite something. This is really quite something.
We humans are capable of so much. We are capable of so.
Like what? What is that? Police officer. He's a police officer. I just want you to know he's allowed to search you. He's allowed to search you, ladies, if he suspects you of a crime. Sorry, he's allowed to search you if he suspects you of a crime. Yes. He's allowed to put his hands in your pants to see if you've got any drugs in there. And if you don't let him do that, you're discriminating.
Many amazing things, but yet it's 2023.
And he's considered an advocate for men in the police force who call themselves women. So, I mean, this is their best, right? They're sending their best. They're sending their best. Can I just like they're sending their best, but
Fly helicopters. But yet, the minute somebody says hi, I'm trans. I'm non.
the minute somebody says, "Hi, I'm trans, I'm come to babysit," is the minute that you find your weapons arsenal, isn't it? That's what you do, isn't it? So there's him. I'm going to come back to him in a minute. I'm going to come back to him because, like, it's too good. It's almost too good. It's too bad. So let me just show you. So he's from something called I Stand With Trans, I think he's from that. So here's another one. Here's another one of these blokes. Here's Dave. Here's a different Dave.
I am creating a new piece of me every day.
I'm living truth. I'm overwhelmed. I'm happy.
I thought he was going to say something else then. I'm not going to lie. Let's just hear that voice again.
I am creating a new piece of me every day.
I've started with fake breasts and a vagina. Every day. A new piece of me. Every single day.
I'm living truth. I'm overwhelmed. I'm happy.
I stand with trans because we all
Because you're an idiot. So anyway, there's a couple of people. I think this is hilarious. Let's see a little bit more about the police officer. Because because why not? Why shouldn't we see more about this police officer? Because it's not even a parody. It should be a parody. I mean, maybe this should be played in all schools. Reasons not to pretend to be women should be the whole thing, right? Let me just make sure you can see that. There we go. Lovely. Lovely.
If you'd like to find out more about Good Vibes, then you can talk to Sarah Maslin, our amazing events director, at the front, and she'll put you in touch with the team. Moving on to our next section. You know, I'm so massively...
I just want you to bear in mind, I just want you to keep in your mind, the person they're talking about is the person you saw in the first video.
privileged being CEO of Trans in the City because I get to work with the most inspirational
blokes
and amazing people. I want to introduce you to one of those people tonight. I think probably one of the most inspirational people I've ever met.
Because he goes to work in a bad wig, and he has the audacity to call himself a woman, and he's managed to get himself in a elevated position. Is that why? Is it?
A serving police officer. She runs all...
I mean, even that, right? Even that, a serving police officer, can I just say, all those people that don't like me discriminating, I don't think you should be allowed in the police force if you pretend to be the opposite sex. Now, this is where, can I just say, ladies who lunch, this is where calling someone trans or recognizing a trans identity, this is where it all kind of smashes up into tiny, tiny pieces, and why Party of Women would never do such a thing. Because once you say trans, you conjure something in your head that creates a totally different thing to what we are about to see. So when you say trans, you can then say don't discriminate against trans, right? But if you stick to man every single time, then what you are saying is you don't want men to pretend to be women in the police force who talk like that. You don't think that's appropriate. If you say trans, you actually, that little switch of language instantly conjures up something else. Now, for those of you who don't know, I've been talking like this for a very, very, very long time now. Very long time. Head of the curve, you might say. And so this is why I stick to it. This is why sometimes people don't like it very much. But this is why I stick to it, because when this person talks, right, if you go along with the narrative that this man is a woman or this man is trans, it becomes really, really difficult to then say that you don't want this man in the police force, because then it looks like you're actually discriminating against someone. And I'm just saying, I don't think a bloke with a made-up identity should be in the police force. I think that totally goes against the honesty that one would expect as the very, very kind of lowest expectation of the police. The minimal requirement of a police officer should be honesty.
All of the taser training for the UK. She's received so much hideous abuse from the anti...
You say hideous. I don't know why you say the word hideous. Is what an interesting word to use.
Trans minority
It's me.
She can tell you so much more about herself. And we have something that's very, very special to show you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, those as yet undivided and those sticking 2 fingers up at the whole stupid bloody thing. Sky Morden.
Now, we may have gone through this before, so I apologize, but this, if this doesn't make you, this doesn't lighten your day, I don't know what will.
I've always wanted to join the police ever since I can remember. I've always wanted to do my best to make.
Can I just say, Baywatch is coming up. I just want, you know, if you love it, be prepared.
Make a difference to somebody. Having a job where you can make a difference, where you are able to walk.
Oh, that womanly run. That womanly run. Just that's our gait, isn't it, ladies, when we run? Brilliant.
For help, where you are actually able to save life, was really important. And I'm still as passionate now as I was 21 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
Hi, I'm Sky. I'm PC Sky Morden, and I'm currently.
I think he's changed his voice, don't you? I think he's changed his voice. He had some training from Orville. I think I can fly right up to the sky, but I can't. You can. I can't. I think I'm a woman right up to my thighs, but I'm not. You are. I'm not.
Currently a tactical trainer and a taser lead instructor. The most important part.
The most important part of everything I do is to shoot people in the penis. Because, you know, I've got one.
Part of being a police officer. It's having empathy, even when the world seems to be against you. It's having that compassion.
Can you imagine? All right, lads. Today, ladies and gents, police, we've got ourselves a taser trainer. Her name's Sky. Hello, everyone. I'm lonely. Hello, I think I can shoot. Oh, that's it now. I've decided that's Orville. Who is your very best friend? You are.
I'm trans. I've
What?
always known I'm.
Shut the front door. He's what? He's not a man. I mean, woman. She's not a woman. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I've always known I'm an AGP. I've always masturbated silly to fetishist porn. So
I'm trans ever since I can remember. Growing up, I just pretended to be someone I wasn't, and
I pretended to be a man with a penis and, you know, man, and my man face and my man hands and my man legs and my man thighs and my man bones. I pretended to be that, but really what I was is a bad fitting wig and some shit makeup.
I hid myself away. Every time you see yourself in a mirror, every time you walk past a shop window, you have this feeling of hate, this feeling of anger, of just, that is not me.
I feel like that, seeing my aging face. But it is me. In fact, mirrors are fine. It's photographs. Terrible.
And as time progressed, it got to the point where I'd done some research. I started to look into what gender identity.
I found a massive porn genre online. Amazing. It's amazing. Totally changed my perspective on everything. It was amazing. All that research I did.
It was. And that the science was there, that actually I'm not mad. There is something here. I am trans. So I came out.
When Sky decided to come out in the police force, I did have some preconceived ideas about how that would be for her.
Oh, I can't even. I think it's too ridiculous. I've commented on this before.
I had a feeling it would be a challenge. I knew that she'd been in the force a long time and that she had a lot of friends there, but I also...
Oh, look at that. Now, I just want to say, which one of those is trans? It's just a question. Because could you spot him? Could you spot the person who calls himself trans?
Also was concerned that there would be a lot of people who maybe wouldn't understand, who would
A lot of women who would know, a lot of people that would work it out. I was worried that everyone would say, what you doing, Dave? It's a bit mental. And I had hoped that he would actually leave the police force because it's completely inappropriate.
have their own views, and I was concerned how she would be supported and protected within that.
The job has hugely surprised me. My colleagues have been wonderful.
I had no idea prior to telling everyone that I had a fetish that I couldn't keep at home anymore. I had no idea just how many of the police forces are captured and how, rather than protecting people, we've just all turned into some sort of weird trans club where everyone has to shut up. And if they don't, they'll know that I'll complain and they might lose their jobs.
I have had so much support and I've had nothing but love. The rest of my experiences with that have not been quite so good. Since I've came out as trans, sometimes I do feel like I'm swimming through a sea of hate.
Well, you're not, are you? It doesn't seem to be quite so hateful enough because you're still doing it. You're still walking about dressing like a woman. You still think it's okay to walk about this world dressing as a woman in a position of authority, which is hugely offensive. So no matter how much hate, one might ask, are you getting off on it? Because you haven't changed. And I think if by putting on some clothes in the morning to tell everybody who I was walking down the road and everybody was hating me, if I didn't like it, I probably wouldn't continue. If it genuinely bothered me, I wouldn't continue. I mean, as it is, I couldn't give a shit how many people hate me.
There's been a lot of hate messages out there, but you can ignore those because the really important messages are those emails from parents of children
who say, can you come and babysit for my daughters and come and, go in the changing room with my kids?
Who are struggling with their own gender identity, and those parents who've reached out to Sky to say,
I think my son's an AGP too. Look, let's say that you are an abuser and your kid pretends to be the opposite sex and you go along with it. Let's just say that. Are you genuinely writing to this bloke, this horrific bloke? Are you genuinely writing to him, emailing him and saying, I'm so pleased. I hope my son grows up to be just like you.
What you've done has been amazing, and it's really opened my child's eyes, and they want to now follow in your footsteps, and that's all.
They also want to train people to shoot tasers. Well, actually, they've got an obsession with guns and death and killing people. And, they spend a lot of time online doing that, and they want to be like you.
All thanks to Sky's work.
When I came out and I received the absolute avalanche of hate and abuse, I reached out to the police LGBT network and I found a family.
Did you? Family? Did you? Really? Okay.
They have given me strength, they've given me courage and friendship. They've offered me support when I felt low, and it's something.
I just want to say, if a police officer came to my house or if I saw a police officer with rainbow stuff on, I would ask them to remove it. I just would. I think it's so inappropriate. I couldn't give a shit whether I even agreed with it. It's just so inappropriate.
Thing that I really cherish. It's important that I show my colleagues that trans people are just simply human.
No one's saying you're not a human, Dave. We're just saying you're not a woman. Quite simple. Nobody's saying you don't exist. We're just saying that you don't exist as the thing that you say you exist as. You're just not a woman.
And I need to be visible so that the trans community can see.
Fuck me, you are visible.
He's a man!
Nobody cannot see you. Nobody cannot see you. Nobody.
That the police are the trans community. That we are the public and the public are the police. And actually, as Robert Peel wanted, they have a representation. They have somebody.
Robert Peel. Well, milady, I want to set up the police force. And what do you want to do with that, Robert Peel? I would like men in dresses to be represented also. Fetishists and dresses and men and erections. That's what the police force is all about. By Jove.
That is doing their best to try to make that cultural change. There is no job like the police.
No.
It's without doubt the best job in the...
There is no job like the police, which is exactly why you shouldn't be in it. No AGPs, no fetishists, no people that pretend to be something they're not. I just don't see why that would be an appropriate candidate to be in the police force. Hey, sir, I would like to pretend to be a woman every day. Would you? Okay, bye. Let's get your P45 for you.
In the world. But it's also hard. There are some days where you think the world is against you.
Well, we are.
You sit back and you think, that day I saved a life. That day I did something that was frightening, unbelievable, scary. But you know what? It made a difference to somebody vulnerable, somebody who needed somebody there for them.
I swear, I promise you, all of us, if we'd seen this 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we all would have thought it was some sort of sketch from Absolutely or from The Far Show. Like, we would all be thinking it was a comedy sketch. It's so ridiculous.
I made a difference that day.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Let me find him again. Because he's now going to speak. I just want to see what his voice is like. That's all. Oh, I've really annoyed myself now. Let me just do that. Let's just. I'm going to clear you in again. It's great, isn't it? Oh, I wish I could be a woman. Well, you can't. I can. You can't. So I just want to see his voice, and then we'll go, and then we'll go back to his voice. Okay.
I've got to go. Hi, I'm Sky, and I'm a director for Trans in the City.
It's so weird. Like, who's there watching? Who's watching that? It's so bizarre.
And I'm also a police officer. I've got 22 years in the police, and I have to say that I am absolutely humbled to stand before you all here tonight.
All right, I can't be bothered to listen to anymore. But let's go. Let's go back. I wish I could fly. Let's go back to his new voice in the police. Now, I want you just to imagine, right? You're in the you're scared. There's some people who are being really badly behaved, criminal people, and you're really, really frightened, right? And then he comes out with his taser. It's not a euphemism for his penis. With an actual taser. Oh, pull him up, everyone! I'm gonna shoot you! I'm gonna shoot you! Are you ready?
We humans are capable of so much. We are capable of so many.
Where's the voice? He's a man! Where's the voice? We are capable of so much. Wish I could fly!
Amazing things. But yet, it's 2023. We can fly helicopters on Mars. But yet, the minute somebody says, hi, I'm trans, I'm non-binary, I'm just different, the world, it loses its mind. Trans people, we are just simply human. And if we are...
No one said you weren't human, Barry. No one said it, Dave. We didn't say you weren't human. We've said you were a man, that's all.
allowed to be ourselves, if we are allowed to be ourselves without fear, without hatred, without anger.
Fucking hell, mate. Like, what? Like, what is this? Without hate, without anger. We're allowed to be. We're allowed to be free. To put our hands down your pants if you're a woman and pretend that we're not men. We're allowed to do it. Because fuck you all. We're allowed.
We are brilliant. We are astonishing.
Yeah, I fucking agree there. You are astonishing.
He's a man!
You are astonishing. I think we can all agree that you may have been to the Brian Cox way of presenting. Maybe he's in your head. I don't know.
But we're just simply human. Let us be us. Don't fear us. Show us kindness and...
Don't fear us, children. We just want to abuse you. Don't fear us. I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel safe now. He said, "Don't fear us. Don't fear us. Just want to kill you in your sleep. Don't fear us."
Compassion. Trans-day visibility. It's really important.
Okay, I got a little something for you now. One moment. This is for all of us. One moment. This is for all of us. Can I just say, join the party of women. If you agree with a tiny bit of what I say, join the party of women. If you want to speak for yourself, join the party of women. Let's fundraise the hell out of this country. Look, over the last few years, like millions has gone to, I think there was 100,000 raised to change one word in the census. I don't know how much sex matters, how much money has been given to sex matters, like loads. And maybe you agree that intervening on certain cases, like the For Women Scott case or whatever, maybe you see these cases as things that are genuinely somehow going to trickle down and benefit you. But seriously, if you want real change, the only way we're going to do it is through politics, is a political party. It's the only way. And there's something so perfect, just before I give you a special treat. There's something so perfect about the women that have so far stood for Party of Women. And it's not that they're ordinary, because there's nothing ordinary about them. But they are every woman. They are, I mean, we're overrepresented by northern women. I don't know what's wrong with you southerners, but you need to pull your finger out. And Wales and Scotland. Really, you have just these political systems where we are able to make more of a difference because it's proportional representation. But you hear them speak and it's just so refreshing. It's so refreshing because there's no spin. They just speak. They just say the thing. They talk like you do. It's just absolutely wonderful. Just so wonderful. But anyway, this is, you might not have seen Dave before he was famous in the police force. But this is Dave.
I wish I could fly way up to the sky, but I can't.
You can. Can I just, like, this is, it's just for you people who don't live in or have never heard of Orville, which is like a big childhood favorite. This is PC Taser Dave.
You can. I can't. I wish I could see what folks see in me, but I can't. You can. I can't.
See? Anyway, that's him. Glad you enjoyed it. Okay. Everyone keeps telling me I sound like Sarah Millican. Well, you kind of do, Kelly. Do you like chocolate and cake and chocolate and cake and chocolate and cake? Because that's my Sarah Millican impression. Okay. Look. Leave Orville alone. And for Mr. Dr. Casey, he, him.
What a day this has been. What a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being
tough. Oh, Kelly, he wears a nappy. I don't know. Ooh. If you can genuinely just have a think. You don't need to be convinced by me. Just after this amazing, entertaining show is over, I just want you to sit back and reflect. What will genuinely change this? Because if you're a charity, you have to adhere to your charity status. You probably can't just focus on women, right? Which I think is what's happened to Sex Matters. If you're up in Scotland, you're fighting different fires to us because Scotland is so very much further down the rabbit hole. And actually, now that Hamza Useless has gone, maybe everything's a little bit different anyway. And maybe the death of Alex Salmon will change the way Scots think about this particular issue, because obviously he was such an incredibly large political figure. But if you're thinking about the country as a whole, and you genuinely want change, how are we going to get it? Now, you could have thought maybe the Conservatives, maybe Labour, maybe Wes Streeting, like maybe these single people will do it. But there's no political will. There's no one that's expressed any language, and I'm including all politicians. There's no one really that's expressed any language that talks about removing the GRA. Removing that foundation upon which all this shit has been built. There's just none. And so Party of Women is it. That is it. Now, you don't have to like me very much, although you'd be a bit foolish to be watching me if you don't like me very much, although I understand many women do. But you don't have to like me. You don't have to agree with things that you've been told that I think, or even things that you've heard me say. But I do want you to sit back and reflect and think, well, what else? What else will get rid of this? And how long do you have? How many more children do you want to see gaslit in schools? Like, how much time do you have that you can put this on the back burner? That you can wait for these very slow things? And I was reading about the Overton window yesterday, and it's just a way of shifting politics. And the only way you genuinely shift politics, and we looked at Nigel Farage, who wanted to leave the European Union. Did we leave? Yes. Did he ever get in a seat in Parliament until recently? No. Did he control the country? No. Was he in the meetings? No. No. And yet, are we in the European Union? No. And I don't really care what you think about that. I'm not interested. But there is a way of really altering politics by being in politics without being in politics. Anyway, if you can stick to the issue and see the genuine way of wading through this treacle, then I promise we will win.
What a day this has been. What a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being in love.
If you can just speak the truth, keep speaking the truth. Let women speak. We sound the alarm. Party of Women. We are taking those conversations forward. We need you for everything, every part of this. Every part of this. Party of Women needs money. I'd like it not to be true. I'd like that. Look, I don't have a penis, and I don't belong to special lunch parties, right? I'm not in the in group, and I don't have a penis, and therefore everything we do is really, really, really hard. I've got this far with charisma, and I appreciate I have it in spades, but charm can only get me so far. It can't do what we need to do. I can't print leaflets. I can't host events without any money. I just can't. Like, security alone costs so much money. And I had to, look, we have to streamline everything we do to make sure that every single penny gets stretched as far as possible. But if you've got a spare £100 in your back pocket, I'd like it, please. Put it towards a party of women. Put it towards securing a future. And do you know why else we're going to win? Because I never lose.
Maybe the air gave me the drive, for I'm all aglow and alive. What a day this has been, what a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being in love. There's a smile on my face for the whole human race. Why, it's all